Thanks for watching News Echoes. We give you facts, news, and news analysis so that you can have an informed opinion. And I'm glad you're watching. My name is Shegun Johnson. In the studio with me, we have from faraway Lagos, Biddy Nana, Pretty Biddy, they call you. So you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Shegu, for that compliment. I appreciate it a lot. Good morning, everyone in the studio, our viewers all around the world. Good to have you here today. Let's do it like always.
Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful day. And in the seat of Abuja, we have our renowned academician and the proprietor of an African university, Dr. Osita Anyemeka. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Johnson. Good morning, viewers.
In Milan, we have Mark in Milan, massive Mark. We call him Mark Godwin. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Dr. Shagun, you're looking different today. It looks like a party is going on there in the UK.
Well, I thought you will help me keep the secret. Well, for the sake of our viewers, I'm anchoring from the southern city of Southampton in England. Is a dock harbor city, and everywhere is water here. Is wet and windy, just in case you want to calm down. But it's a lovely city. Everybody loves Southampton. So this is where I'm anchoring from. I've loved the place since yesterday when I came, and so this is where we are today. And so if I'm not putting on a suit plus a tie, you understand what's going on. But I guess Calvin Clark was stepping for a change. I'm so glad. But thank you for exposing my secret, Mark. Well, Mark, let me throw it back to you. Last night, around 11 p.m., INEC decided to reply to the Labour Party petition to the court and saying that it was a juvenile and misguided petition. Tell us more. What is the position of Obi's petition and INEC's reply?
Very good. Morning again, viewers. Yes, late in the night, we had a very strong news response from INEC. INEC tells the court that Peter Obi, the LP presidential candidate's petition against APC and the APC elected president and even INEC itself is incompetent. The commission said they want the court to dismiss the petition for being grossly incompetent, abusive, vague, non-specific, ambiguous, and these were their words exactly. So we all know that Obi and the LP party filed a petition challenging the victory of Paula Tinubu, the candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC as president-elect. They claim that Tinubu's running mate and Vice President also, Shetima, had a double nomination, which contravenes the Electoral Act of 2022. So the petition had a lot, and they said the election was made with rigging, manipulations of votes, adding that INEC itself violated its own regulation when it announced the result, when at that time of the announcement, the total polling unit result had not yet been fully scanned and uploaded, transmitted electronically as required by the Electoral Act. So these are Obi and LP's petition challenging the victory of Bola Tinubu. And INEC came last night and said this whole petition is incompetent, it's abusive, it's vague, and it's ambiguous. So this is the situation of things as at this morning.
Okay, thank you very much for that summary. Let me ask the man in the capital, Dr. Sita, what's your take on this one?
It's quite peculiar because I'm going to need to go back a little bit. You notice that every bad situation in this country, every bad steps taken by bad people are done at night. When they annulled the elections of Abiola, it was night. when Mahmoud announced president-elect, it was night. Now INEC has come at night to announce that they have appealed to the court to throw away LP's petition. This is the reason why we say we think that they are all bad steps and bad things done. But what INEC is asking for is not even in INEC's place. INEC was joined in the suit, not the main factor. So this is something that would have gone to APC, that would have gone to Bola Tinubu to make announcements, by themselves. But INEC is taking it upon themselves now to be the main actor in this game, which is wrong. There is no way, nowhere in the world that the Electoral Commission will take sides with a party in the election and be making joint announcements with them. It's not done anywhere. So the way we see it, the way we're taking it is that this is a collusion. Everything geared towards making sure that the P2B, who is proclaimed as the rightful winner of the election, does not reclaim his mandate. And if that does not happen, that is saying, democracy would have been destroyed in this country, and it will take a long time for the new faith to come. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I can see Sir George from Toronto, Canada. Sir George, you're welcome to the program.
Hi, George.
Can you hear me, Sir George?
Good morning, my colleagues, and good morning, viewers from around the world.
Yeah, the question goes to Lagos.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, then. Bidi, Lagos appears to be calm. Is this calmness before the storm, or this calmness, and to what extent will the people trust the court? Because everything now is go to court. And now they're going to court and they are saying the Obi's petition is flawed, the Obi's petition is juvenile, and the rest. Why is there calm in Lagos? Everybody seems to be calm, which is not a bad thing, but is it the calm before the storm? Or do they believe in court at all?
Well, the calmness actually started from on 25th of February, since the APC won the election. There's calmness. Secondly, the city boy, the president-elect, has not been cited. Nobody knows that his whereabouts for over 2 weeks. So all these things has contributed to the calmness we see in Lagos State. Now, going by the INEC, when I read this thing, when they sent me this thing very early in the morning, I was kind of speechless, because you know why I was speechless? I don't even know what INEC is to Nigerian. Is INEC now a political party, or are they now a council to APC? Because you see, the step INEC is actually taking, it is not in their place to take that step or make that statement. Because INEC has practically made himself like a lawyer or a counsel to APC to speak on behalf of APC. So it's really confusing. I don't even know the name independent on INEC. I don't even know what that name is doing there or what it stands for, because INEC don't actually have the right.
I think you have a point there. They're just to go there to say that we've done our best. They're not to tell us whether Obi's petition is juvenile, is this, is that. Their own is to defend themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But they are going beyond the board now and doing things differently. And one of the things they are doing is that they are calling the bluff of Nigerians. I think they are looking at us because, like you said earlier, the quietness in Lagos, not just in Lagos, but it's obvious in Lagos. You know, Nigeria decided to be calm. They decided to go this election rigging thing or manipulating thing in a legal way, according to Obi. Because if Obi had not told Nigerians, be calm, don't go to the streets, who will go to the court? Like the APC and the INEC say, if you're not satisfied with the outcome of the election, go to the court. Who will go to the court? So if the Nigerian youths have not listened to Obi, I don't think INEC will have the guts or the courage to come out to be taking other people's position, taking the legal position and taking the party position. Maybe if INEC is a political party, they should tell us because I don't understand their position in this case.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. Sir George, you've listened to what INEC said and is unbecoming. I thought they were just to defend themselves and say they've done good. Unfortunately, they are talking like politicians. They are saying that it's ambiguous, is this. Those are for APC to say, not for INEC. I thought INEC should have just said, look, we've done what was right. And but to what extent do we now have any confidence in INEC? Sir George.
I think
Because there is no arm of the government that we have any. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. That we have any confidence in whatsoever.
Go on.
The problem, what it is they used to doing things the kangaroo way, the way they used to do it before. So they feel like they can do it and get away with it now because they have never done anything differently before.
So this calmness, is it?
Anyway,
is it
listen,
that
I'm having some technical issues here. So,
but we can hear you, even though we cannot see you, but we are hearing you loud and clear.
Let me just try to fix this then. Yeah.
All right then. Okay. While you are fixing it, Dr. Osita, to what extent should we place our future on the Nigerian judiciary as we speak?
We cannot, because that would be a wrong future. All we're asking is that something happens to them and they become the judiciary. They become really the conscience of the country. The courts, yes, the courts are the conscience of any nation. Anywhere you are wrong, anywhere you are pricked, you go to the court. Let me give you an example. My childhood friend, Senator Wike from New Hampshire, he came to Nigeria with me. He came back to Nigeria with me once, and then he asked me. He said, "Osita, if someone wrongs me now, where do I go? Say, for instance, someone steals my phone. Where do I seek redress?" I said, "We'll go to the police. From the police, we'll go to the court." And at that time, too, the judiciary was doing exactly what they were doing now because it was Abacha's time. And he said, "No, there is no hope here because I can't even come back here because if something happens to me in this country, I have no redress. I cannot go to any court." And it's happening again now. People are seeing us the way they've seen us before during the military regime. And it was introduced by the man from the military who didn't care about us. So what is going on now? This transition that is going on now is a borrow from those days, and this borrowing is there to make us feel bad, feel sad, and then make us go further down. If we allow this to happen this time, then we are really down, and coming up will be an uphill task.
All right. And Massive Mark in Milan, is that a position of you guys in Europe?
Yes. In Europe, obviously, like Dr. Osi said, everything goes through the legal means. But I don't know why, like everybody have also said, I don't know why INEC is bringing out its neck on this issue. This is for the court to do. This is for, it's between LP and the court, not INEC. And like BD said, INEC should be an independent body, a neutral body on this. So we don't know where they are taking this, but I know one thing for sure. The LP presidential candidate is not backing down. He understands this. Let's note that he went through similar scenario as the governor of Anambra State. So I think he's built for moment like this. He understands how to go about it. Take note also, he did not bring out some of the things we thought would be his petition. He came through another angle, and this shows how very versatile he is on issues like this. So INEC has spoken, but this doesn't stop the procedures and what is happening in the Supreme Court. And this doesn't also put back our man, the LP presidential candidate. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the people are just troubled about the arrogance of INEC. But let's move on to a lady who is in the eye of the storm. Her name is well known all over the world, Ngozi Adichie and Chimamanda, and she is in the eye of the storm. Everybody wants to shoot her if you don't believe in what she has said, and everybody wants to love her if you believe in what she has said. That's the position where she is now. And we understand she wrote a letter to Biden, the American president, and Trudeau, the Canadian prime minister. Bidi, you are a lady. How are you feeling for Chimamanda? That especially when the whole world that believes in Tinubu, they are castigating her, and that may even lead up to people like Wole Soyinka. So, how do you feel?
I feel good. When I read that letter, I felt two things came to my mind. I'm happy that she's a woman and she's a Nigerian and she's representing us well. See, what Chimamanda did, it's what a lot of Nigerian elites or technocrats was expecting to do, but they did not do it. Rather, few of them who are of selfish interests were seeing it as attacking them. But Chimamanda did a wonderful work there because he did not only call out the faulty or the wrong election that we had in Nigeria here, 25th of February and 18th of March, but he actually called out the United States of America for being two-faced in dealing with Nigerians. And he made references with Congo and other. Do you understand? Now, sometimes you blame African countries for not being true Democrats. At the same time, you endorse all these undemocratic leaderships. So what are you trying to promote? What are you trying to imply? So because we are so short-sighted, because we are people who don't think long time, we only think of now. What am I benefiting now? What am I getting out of this now? So majority of them feel she's attacking them or she's trying to close down their source of living. So they start criticizing her letter. Do you understand? Most people in Nigeria, they start criticizing her letter that they call so many names. You are writing the Igbo letter, you're writing the anti. Do you understand? But Chimamanda did very wonderful work. Then if African leaders are people who see things the way it should be, this should be an avenue they should leverage on to make a lot of things right. But because we are,
all right.
I don't know, I wouldn't want to use the kind of word I want to use here.
I think you have expressed yourself very well. I know how you feel when you see a renowned author like Chimamanda. You see someone who broke through the ranks and could discuss and be on the same platform with Wole Soyinka, irrespective of the difference in age and Nobel laureate. Sir George in Toronto, the Prime Minister of your country, Trudeau, has been written to by the lady of the moment, Ngozi Adichie. How are you feeling in Toronto, in Canada? How are you taking it?
Actually, she took a very strong position. And one thing that, nobody has paid attention to is the fact that this woman, a Nigerian woman, who is a law professor in the United States of America, is calling the leader of the known world today two-faced. Can you imagine the impetus? Now, can you imagine if it was done in Nigeria, the type of people we are? So one thing about it is that this woman, she got the guts and she stands her ground and she is actually telling it like it is. She's not afraid of anybody. And that's one thing that we need to understand. I've read all the things that they're saying about her, how they're castigating her on all that kind of stuff. But this is what you expect from a nation that is so backwards and so I don't even know how to describe our own country. But the point is, yes, he's taking, and the reason why she actually came out to write to Biden was because of Wole Soyinka's assertions.
Go on, tell us something. Tell us one word from Wole Soyinka that has gone wrong, in my own opinion.
Well, listen, Wole Soyinka is himself, when he was a younger individual, he was very militant in his assertions. This is a man who went to a radio station and put a gun upon the head of the broadcaster and told him, do not announce that this is what you're going to announce. When it was a political after the election, and they were about to do the same thing they're doing now. He took a gun and put on somebody's head and said, this is the one you announce, not this one. So now when you see him as an elderly statesman right now, and I love that man because he's been fighting from the very beginning. His ideology, political ideology is quite different, and he's been fighting for it. But the fact that he comes out and call what Dati was saying was even so light compared to what he did. So he took it and called it fascism. That he was saying the statement he was making was, fascistic type of statement. And
that's the word. That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. So and you listen to Chimamanda, you will hear her when she's talking about what fascist is. We're talking about, Stalin in his days. We're talking about the military rule in Nigeria. We're talking about the impetus of the INEC to come out and continue to do the same thing that she was even talking about. INEC now is coming up because the way they look at this whole entire thing, my brothers and sisters, look at this. What they're doing, all of them are in the same gang, fighting for the same thing. And that is the APC, the INEC, and the rest of them. And you guys are calling this a kangaroo court. No, it is not a kangaroo court. What they're showing you is Sharia court. That's what they are bringing to you. And we are buying it, we're just taking it in. Nobody's saying anything. Now, and that is the reason why the last hope that they have is a different arm of the government. And if these people fail Nigeria, I can guarantee you it is not going to go well with that country because the youth are ready. So let them not mistaken the silence to be that everybody's okay. Obi knows exactly what he's doing because Obi knows that if there is an eruption tomorrow, that is really what they need to close every gap and do what they want to do. And that's why he's telling everybody, be quiet, let's go through the judicial system and see what we can get out of all of this. Because another thing they're looking for is, if there is an eruption out there, the next thing they will do is to pick up Obi and lock him up.
That's correct. That's very correct. And in fact, they've been begging him to get out of the country, like they did to MK Abiola.
Okay, so, but it's not going to happen because they forget about the resilience of this man. The guy is so resilient. When he puts his mind on something, he will not stop until he gets there. And that's one of the things that I'm thinking that the judicial system ought to be afraid of because he knows what to do. And he's already put all his plans together. So it's not going to go well.
Doctor, thank you very much, Sir Judge. Doctor Star.
No, can I add something to what Sir George said?
Okay, quickly.
Sure.
It's okay. You remember that U.S. Department of State Department actually congratulated Tinubu as of last week, and they said they accepted the results. It was based on that prompted Chimamanda writing this letter, coupled with showing Wole Soyinka coming online. Now, the annoyance of so many Nigerians that Olusegun for the past years has been so redundant in activities of this country. He has not been outspoken. He has not been objective like a lot of people might know him to be. He was in Lagos from 25th of February to 18th, even till today. He has seen the fascism he's talking about. He has seen it. He has seen racism. He has seen killing. He has seen tribalism. He has seen beating. He has not said anything. He has not condemned any of this evil. Only for him to come out and say that NSAS, obedient and Nigerian youths, and Dati and Obi are trying to incite war or people into doing something. So that is actually the main annoyance of Nigerian towards him. There are a lot of big problems you did not see. Just mere statement by Dati and you're coming out to say something. That was actually the annoyance of so many Nigerians towards him. And that's why you see people
thank you.
now come out
Thank
and
you
talk
for
to him
that.
anyhow.
Thank you for that interjection. Dr. Osita,
Yes.
Chimamanda's letter could lead to some diplomatic rupture, not only between Nigeria and the rest of Africa and the United States, because she really went deep to where it's hurtful to the Western world. And we know this in Allende's Chile. We know this in Congo and the killing of raising up and the killing of demagogues in Africa. That is on one side. On the other side, it could also raise doubt as to the credibility and legitimacy, the legitimacy of Tinubu, whom we understand is somewhere in Europe when he should be planning within the country. So, because of your knowledge of politics and the analysis of it, and especially leading the University of Diplomacy, can you help us make sense out of all of this? Because something is brewing.
Okay, there are two ways to it. It is true that Olusegun's statement ignited Chimamanda to say what she said, to write what she wrote. Also, it is a shame that the United States also ignited her position in her letter. But the issue is that she was also looking for a witness. That's why she joined Trudeau in the letter. She was just being smart because it wouldn't be good for her to just stand alone to say what she's saying and not bring people who are relevant to the issues. Let's look at the first step. Boloshenka, you guys are overrating him. I'm being very honest. He said when Buhari was contesting without certificate, he said even if Buhari submits cement paper, that he qualifies to run Nigeria, to rule Nigeria compared to what Jonathan was doing. Yes, he said it, and it's on record. And then the same Olusegun came publicly a couple of years ago to thank Remi Tinubu and Bola Tinubu for giving him a home. He came publicly to say that the home was empty, but that the next day, by the time she woke up the next morning, Remi has brought pots and pans and teacups and whatever. What kind of human being in that position of beggarliness and acceptance can come openly like this to support a man who is known not to have won an election? So yes, you guys are overrating Olusegun. He might be a Nobel Peace Laureate. He might have won accolades here and there, but in recent times, the Wale has faded out into poverty, and he's latching on anybody who can make him comfortable.
I think he made a mistake. Of course, he's never a political scientist. He made a mistake in the word fascism. I'm just opening my dictionary to tell us, not that you guys don't know. And it says fascism is a governmental system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism, regimenting all industry, commerce, I don't think the people is referring to if they were the obedience. They've done anything close to that. They've not even been
Exactly.
empowered. They've not raised
Exactly.
up a gun against anybody's
Exactly.
head in the studio.
He
Um,
is talking about Mussolini. Mussolini was his world classical example of fascism. The
yeah,
guy who never
Mussolini,
let
yeah, in
anybody
Italy.
say
Yeah,
any
that's
word.
right.
And then
Exactly.
Stalin also, Stalin of
And
Russia.
exactly, Stalin
And
too.
Stalin, yes, and
And
Stalin in
that is why people are scared
Russia.
of Russia today. That's why people are scared of
And,
Russia
and
today.
Hitler in Germany. All of these are
E-
fascists.
Exactly. And then some of our African leaders, they are fascists too.
Idi
They are the
Amin.
ones that are dictators who lock up anybody who criticizes them for and throws the key
well,
away. So you
well
ask
let, let
yourself,
me let me
at
just
what point
spend
did obedience commit that kind of
let,
crime?
let me just spend 60 seconds before we go on a break. 60 seconds on Wole Soyinka. I happen to know his parents. My parents and his parents were friends, and during holidays, we have been to their houses, both in Abeokuta and Ishara in Ijebu. The mother, very nice woman. She used to be a teacher at Ake, and the father was a lay reader in Anglican church and was very good. These were very good people. Wole Soyinka grew up to rebel against the religion of his parents, that is Christianity. And we later found Wole Soyinka worshiping the god of water somewhere in Oshobo, believing that. And then Wole Soyinka was a man who is a bundle of contradiction himself. When he was younger, Shagari was in charge. He wrote a song, inside Nigeria. Nigeria is my home. Inside Nigeria, I will live and die. And he went on to say that, of course, he ran away from Nigeria at a point. And then he went on to make names, funny names, caricature of Shagari, and called him Shagari. In Yoruba language, Shagari means you drink Gari when you are poor. And that Shagari was trying to make us Shagari. And then it was a real full-blown album at that time. Now, when he has gone to another level of prominence in the whole world, like you rightly said, Nobel laureate, he's been able to modify his views. And a poor political analyst, he said that Trump will never win. And if Trump should win, he would tear his green card. Of course, he had to deport himself to Nigeria to face all the challenges within Nigeria. Because of his ego, he could not stand it anymore. That has not taken anything away from him. But when you look at who started the well-known pirate confraternity that has pointed to many things done by others raising up confraternities in Nigeria, is Wole Soyinka, who said it was to bring about justice. But we know that it was to drink rum, vodka, and cause trouble within the community. And when the pirate confraternity that came out about a year ago started singing Emiloko, Baba we know well, we say it's his own turn. The same Wole Soyinka who wrote it and sang about Shagari is now condemning, or was condemning, his own fellow pirates for saying and castigating Tinubu. And those ones came out to say, hey, man, you can't be doing this. Why are you a bundle of contradiction? But that is the kind of bundle of contradiction that Wole Soyinka has put himself to, because there are people he can never castigate, including Rotimi Amechi, for whatever reasons we may not be able to say on national television. But Wole Soyinka is 88. We have to give it to him that he's getting older. Let the younger ones. Adichie, I'm talking of Chimamanda Ngozi, she's 45 and she's making the waves. But we'll see how it turns out, the Nigerian judiciary. Don't go away. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll be looking at Dino versus Wike. Does Wike want to contest in Kogi? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor
Gang Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Gang Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind, keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
Thank you for watching News Echoes, and we thank you for staying with us. There are so many things we still have to discuss today, and we will see right now. I just wonder whether we should take this one first. The Christianity. The Christian Association of Nigeria refused to acknowledge pig milk. I recall growing up in Nigeria, the only milk we knew was pig milk, and later we got carnation. And now pig milk has run into trouble with the Christians. They went and gave this advert. I don't know whether we can see the picture. A pig milk tin rumpled and said he was pierced and bruised for our sakes, referring to Isaiah chapter 53 verse 5, where it says Jesus was pierced and bruised for our sake, and out of his stripes we were healed. Now the Christian brothers and sisters say, you can't do that. You can't use our Lord and Savior to be advertising your milk. I don't live in Nigeria right now, so I don't know how Nigerians have taken it. Let's start from Lagos to Abuja, and then we come to those in diaspora. Bidi, what's wrong about that advert? Tell us.
If you're a Christian, you know everything is wrong about the adverts. Not just being a Christian, you know who we are. We are very religious kind of people. So we are kind of people who will always want to fight or ready to fight for our God when we don't even have the strength to do that. Do you understand? I might say maybe probably the pig milk advert agency went too far with that advert, but the Christian Association of Nigeria threatening to boycott pig milk over that offensive Good Friday advert. It is a big one. It's not good. You know, if you ask me, as BD that grew up in Africa, in Nigeria, I'll tell you it is totally wrong. As a Christian, is a slap on our God.
But Bidi, don't we? If you don't have I recall when I was in secondary school, boarding school, we have to take pig milk to school, and you don't have an opener like you have at home. So you take your nail, you nail it on both sides, and you drink, and then you press and bruise it in and throw it away. That's what they were saying, and you guys said no.
You did that in the corner of your classroom. This one, they brought it to the world, to the national television. Do you know what it is? You know, it's like a slap to the face of Christians. So many of them will not take it. Personally, if you ask me, I might even look over it. But as a real Christian who grew up in this part of the world, they'll see it as a disgrace, as a slap to Christianity.
Okay, let me ask Dr. Osit. Osit, you are in Abuja. What is wrong? It's publicity. It is publicity to Christianity. Jesus Christ was pierced and bruised for our sake. And pig milk, oh yes, maybe milk did not come out of his body, it was blood. Dr. Sita, what's your position?
I am sorry. The issue, this is my personal opinion, not me and my group of colleagues here. The issue is unique, but I am not sure if I share the opinion of Khan. I am Christian. This didn't say anything about Jesus Christ. They actually drew our attention to it because that is what they feel in adverts, this is my area. Yeah, I am a communication person. In adverts, you use everything you have to draw attention of customers to a commodity that you want to to raise the profile. Pig milk has been having very serious competition with other milk, particularly the ones in the powder form. So they are trying to create a reputation for the pig milk that we used to know. Like you said,
Okay, let
while
me
we
let
were
me ask you a question, Dr. Sita. Do you think they will have
okay,
done that with Mohammed in Nigeria?
Okay, that's exactly the main question.
yeah, they cannot because of there's nothing you can do with Mohammed in Nigeria. There's nothing, not even book. There is nothing you can do, not even your
Is a
sunglasses.
no go is a no go area for them to
Exactly.
use
That is the point.
Mohammed.
That is the kind of religion that it is. We are not that.
Aha.
We can and we can't be that. But also let us not drag it for so long. Khan has accepted the apology and the case is over. Khan has said
So
it's
you,
okay.
so you are going to drink pig milk.
Of course, why not?
Let me
They
ask
have,
Sir George. Sir George,
they have been
Sir
forgiven now.
George, are you still going to drink pig milk?
Well, drinking pig milk or not drinking pig milk does not have anything really to do exactly with the impetus of this company to come out and use
Yeah.
as such. I mean, Christianity is all about Christ going to the cross. And to make light of
Yeah.
it, to compare it to a stupid object like milk is very insulting, very degrading, and making light of its suffering. And I don't think we should take it lightly, because when you tolerate nonsense like this is exactly how they grow from one level to another to make a mess of something as important as we as Christians believe that if you do not accept what he has done for you on that cross, you might end up in hell, according to
But
the
that's
word
a
of the
result.
living God.
That's as a result of. It's as a result of Muslim ticket, isn't it? So that things can
Well,
be thrown
because
at you and say,
that's
to
why
what level will you receive it?
yeah, you see, that's the problem there. Around the world, any word that you mention, cartoon or whatever, look at America. When France messed up, they started to change French fries to freedom fries.
Yeah.
But they're not selling the potatoes to America, only the name only, because they did not support America in the war in Iraq. So when they spoke against it, they wanted to change that name French fries to freedom fries. I mean, this is exactly the same type of I don't know. It's just the fact that because Christians are very peaceful and loving people, people feel like they can trample and do whatever. No, this is very, very important. I wish it was like, for instance, when he did a miracle of the loaves, and then they're playing with that. But this one is at the cross. The main reason why we Christians are Christians. You should never, never play with that. And I think we should
Okay.
rise up against them and make sure that nobody else will ever insult the blood of Jesus Christ like that again.
And maybe there are more to come. So this is just like you rightly said, a stepping stone to worse things as the years go by. Who knows?
Definitely. There are more to come. But, if we tolerate this one, then believe me, the rest will continue. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia, you are most welcome. And you met us discussing this big milk advert. Yeah, that has been rejected. Let me just ask you one question on this before we go to the next topic. Did the board members of Peak Milk, whoever they are, did they not discuss this advert before it is rolled out? Did they not think or they felt, well, let's give it to them? We have been established for almost 100 years in Nigeria. There's no way these people will defeat us. Is it an affront against Christianity or not?
I understand Sir George, but I'll go with what Dr. Sita said. This is just marketing. That's number one. Number two, this can has overblown itself out of proportion. Where were they when this Muslim ticket was? What did they do? It's like, I don't know. It feels. Oh, I'm not saying it is. Oh, please don't quote me. Oh, but it feels like Christmas chicken protesting. Ah, no, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. You don't want. You have to have teeth. What to do back. You have to have some kind of teeth when you back. You don't just like, why were they with all this Muslim? What happened? Nothing, not that. Like you have rightly pointed out, if it was something about Muhammad, you would have seen unknown something. Maybe if it's not gunmen, it would be unknown something right now. So I'm not moved by all this backing without teeth. Especially living in Russia, I'm not used to that kind of backing without teeth. You have to have leverage or have something you're talking about before you start backing. And then also, I'm also against this wokeness over sensitivity. I agree. There should be no double standard. The same way we can't speak against Muhammad, we shouldn't be able to speak about Jesus or for Christians. I agree. But also, Christianity has allowed.
Let me ask you one question. Because I don't want to dwell too much on this one. But answer this question: when Jesus was pierced with nails and bruised, and they put spear into his chest, was it milk that came out or blood? And why should we compare the two on this occasion?
Very good, because it wasn't only blood that came out; it was plasma. And if you look at plasma, you might think
that is milk.
It might look like diluted milk, but okay, it's
no. Plasma. You are a doctor. Wait, Dr. Ebe, you are a doctor, and you know plasma is white leukocytes, and we have erythrocytes which are red. So both of them, both the erythrocytes and the white plasma, all of them, they are called blood, isn't it? So there is no covering. I know you are in the medical field. You know that.
Yeah, I said yes. I said it wasn't only blood. I said plasma, but I said if you take just plasma without the red blood cells, and you're trying to make a comparison, then I understand where you're going to. But there's no excuse for inciting religious war. There's no excuse. But what I'm saying is that the whole backing sometimes is over exaggerated. Everyone is using it as an opportunity to shine. Both Archon,
erythrocyte and milk are not the same thing. That's the point we are making.
Doctor.
Yes,
blood is life.
Blood is life. But I've just said that. But I've just said that they are not the same thing.
Can I give a little
I've
input?
just said that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give it to Massive Mark. Mark, yes.
Yeah, just a little. Yes. Advert goes on. People come up with all kind of crazy ideas to create content, but this is a no way place to go. You guys just talked about how it would have been if it was the other way, and really it would have been. In fact, by now, everywhere would have been in fire if it was in a Muslim that this came out through. So there's no excuse for this. Dr. Osi, I don't stand with you on this. Me and you were in the same industry, but you don't touch this kind. These are very sacred things. These are things we don't play with because it's for us, for the Christian community. It's real. It's not a joke. It's not a play thing. It's a serious thing. So if the Muslims were to have done this, if they had to have done this to the Muslim, by now I tell you, Nigeria would be on fire. It will leave.
What's the name of that girl that was killed in Niger State?
Yes,
Sokoto State. One of them, because she wrote something about Mohammed.
Mohammed. Here in France, here in Paris, there's
everywhere in the world.
There's a cartoon publishing company.
Yes.
They went there and killed half of the staff because of a cartoon depicting Mohammed.
That's right. We remember that. Yeah.
We don't play with this. This is serious.
Anyway, we will leave it, and we will just stand with the fact that Khan has accepted the apology. Those who want to drink pig milk can do so. Those who believe in the blood of Jesus Christ should do so. But it was too expensive a joke. I think that's what Khan was saying. And we'll see. We hope this will put an end to making a caricature of the strength of Christianity, which is Jesus, Pierce, and Rose. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, so this is what you call that Trumpism. We don't see it that way, but that's exactly, if you remember, if you go back to, you begin to see, like a lot of people will make statements they know that will erupt, I'm talking about international reaction, because that's what they want. Do you understand? If it was any other thing that they used, to with pig milk, we will not be discussing it. But they know what they were doing. They did it intentionally. They knew that it will bring this this type of reaction. And listen, all of a sudden, how many minutes have we spent on pig milk right now? But that's what they know, and that's exactly what it will happen, and that's why they did it.
Effective.
So it happens all over the place. They knew what they were doing.
I believe they were not thinking, because the milk inside that pig milk could never have compared with the blood of Jesus Christ.
But
because
they know that it's going to bring this kind of reaction, and when it brings the reaction, all of a sudden, you don't pay for this ad. Are they paying us for this ad? And any other place is being discussed is not being paid. That's exactly what they're doing. They know what they were doing.
That is the point.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they bring a controversial statement like this. And
that's what Dr. Sita was saying. That's what Dr. Sita was saying. Exactly.
Yeah, they will put it out there, and then it will bring that international or even general reaction. Everybody will be discussing it. So now they get
if you accept Muslim ticket, you should accept the blood of Jesus is like a pig milk. Well, we get the message. Well, Massive Mark, Labour crisis. The Labour Party has its own crisis. All of a sudden, their chairman was removed. They now have interim chairman. Tell us more. I don't know what they're doing. The Labour Party we've always distinguished between the Obedience and Labour Party. We know that one. Obedience are the people looking forward to a new Nigeria with a renewed hope, and believing that corruption and injustice will go. But the Labour Party that Obi had to go to was far from perfection. Tell us what's happening to the leadership.
Well, yes, there's an in-house squabbles, chaos in Labour Party, but the Labour Party people are also seeing this as some intruders trying to trying to create this confusion. So presently, the Labour Party leadership is being in a this person, but the young man Julius has come out to say he remains the Labour Party chairman, and as long as he knows he is the authentic Labour Party chairman. But there's another man coming out, Adamu, so-called Adamu, has stood up to say he is the. They're going back and forth. I think he's still in the courts. We need to know what the update is as of today. But so much, apart from the leadership tussle, there's also burning the Labour Party secretariat, fights in some of the Labour Party secretariat, state secretariat, and a lot of confusion, Dr. Shegun, a lot.
Okay, let me ask Dr. Sita. Dr. Sita, you are in Abuja. Is this an internal problem or externally instigated problem?
Externally instigated problem.
Okay, go on. Tell us.
Every confusion you find in the party today is somebody from any of the camps of APC, which have been identified. I'm not just saying it. They have been identified. They have been shown that they are not Labour Party members. These are people who have gone from across the divide to claim to be Labour Party members, really funded with so much money. They pay Labour Party members to keep quiet or to stop their positions. But the good thing about it is that the entire 36 states Labour Party chairmen have come to say that Julius Abure is still their chairman, and that they are the party.
Wow.
Yes, they have come out to say that they're the party supporting the presidential candidate of Labour Party and his deputy, and that there is no way anybody can stop that. So yes, the crisis came.
Not even the judiciary can do that.
No. I mean, the point is this. The point is this: let us also, all of us, say what it is, the way it is. The country is in a mess because there is an ambition to keep the status quo, and Sir George, has put it in a very brilliant form. They cannot change this by themselves because they want it. They want it, and this is not. They're not doing it for Tinubu. They're doing it for what they all stand for. Take over power, do whatever they like, that nobody can challenge them. The only challenge they've ever had in the last 8 years, yes, it's P2P, and they want to crush that. But the man knows what he's doing, and I'm waiting for the results.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me quickly go to Sir George. You think, please, in 1 minute, Sir George, Labour Party should be prepared for these earthquakes once in a while, or even continuously till the next election in 4 years, shouldn't they?
Well, of course they will, because, listen, one thing we keep forgetting is, this paradigm shift in our thinking, the way things ought to be in Nigeria, is a new thing. It's a new thing. We've desired it in the past, and we couldn't get it, in any way, because the power that be, they are so strong, they are so united. Their eyes, they're looking in the same direction together, and how to siphon money, steal money, and all that. So now, all of a sudden, there's a different way of thinking. Somebody comes out to educate you and enlighten you about your rights, your constitutional rights, and all those things. And then these other people, this is the way it has been. If it was in the past, nobody would challenge the election. But all of a sudden, there's a new way of thinking. And what has brought about this is that, thankfully enough, things were allowed to go so bad that people are on their knees now. They can't go any lower, or else it's going to explode. And that's where we are. So one of the major things is, you will see the money talks in Nigeria, and they will infiltrate you. If they cannot beat you from outside, they will infiltrate inside to bring, just destroy you from within. So that's what you are seeing. So
okay. I'm just mindful of time. Thank you, yes. Dr. Ibe. The Labour Party must quickly set up its ideological wing for us to know that they are like socialist oriented, communist oriented, or whatever ideology. I think otherwise they will be easily destabilized, isn't it, Dr. Ibe?
Yes, you've made a solid point, but that's unfortunately that's not enough. Am I visible? Let me try to. Yes, right. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, ideology is not enough. When you have, let's say, impunity, or you have a kind of tyranny in a system, you need the help of external geopolitical forces, like really geopolitical forces. They have to, in this situation, we have seen that the Labour Party seems a little bit not as unisolated as I would have hoped. I'm not in that party. I'm speaking generally as a independent person.
I asked you that question because you live in Russia. That is very ideological. So okay,
yeah.
I'll come back.
More
to
than
this.
ideology. You need backing.
Okay, Didi, you are raising up your hand. Yeah.
No, I didn't raise up my hand.
Oh, you didn't raise up your hand. I thought I should give you last 20 seconds because
it's okay. Let me say something about that Labour Party thing.
Quick, you have 20 seconds.
It's okay. There's a strong force, a standard strong force that has plugged in what I call his pipe inside Labour Party. Now, if care is not taken, in time to come, with the kind of way these external parties, other parties distribute money and use money to buy over people, in time to come, I pray that Dati and Obi will not be standing alone in time to come from what is happening in the Labour Party.
I think your observation is quite right, and the Labour Party has to reorganize itself. As Labour Party used to be an unknown party until Obi came, and so they need discipline. They need integrity. We recall how Okupe was asked to go, and so many things. Labour Party, not obedience. Labour Party. That's how far we can go today. I know that when I was going to the Shoyinka family's house in both Ishara and Abeokuta. The mother taught us a song, and I'm talking when I was 5, 6. If Wole Shoyinka is watching this one, bear me out. Your mother used to sing, Fortetere, Honkolo Were, Taniora Tetemi, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the song Shoyinka's mom taught us. I'll sing it one more time, and goodbye to everybody. God bless
Why
Nigeria.
don't you interpret it? That's all. We didn't understand what you were singing. You have interpreted it.
Sorry, Biddy.
Interpret
You
it
say
for
what?
us. Interpret the song so I will understand.
Oh, it means this is a 4 vegetable. It's very sweet to look at and to eat. Please buy it. It's talking about the vegetable called tete. Maybe you've had a tete vegetable. So it says Efo tetere honkolo were tanio ratete mi 1, 2, 3, 4. God bless you until Friday when we see you again.